So you decided to use real estate as one of your main vehicles or the vehicle to get started on the pathway to building wealth. Lucky you. We're going to go through all the different types of investments you can make in real estate, the most common ones especially, and some that you may or may not have known about. Listen, there is no one size fits all, different types of investments for different people. It's important to know all your options and what may fit best for you. So let's get into it. First, we could buy a house. We're going to buy a house. We're buying a house, baby. Holy, right? That's what most people do, right? Mom and dad buy a house, pay off the mortgage, sell the house when they're ready to retire. They're living comfortable. That model doesn't necessarily work the best anymore, but it's the most simple, it is the most common. And if you do have to sell your house and it's your primary residence, no taxes, baby. We like that. Anything to avoid the taxes. So buying a house could be great. Lots of different ways you can do it. We've worked with a lot of clients to do it as well. Lots of different ways that you can do that and use it to build wealth. On that note, one way, actually two ways that you can actually buy a house and use that to build wealth is you can buy a pre-construction home. A lot of people will do this. They'll buy a pre-construction home, they'll live in it for a couple of years, and as the developer's building out, more of the suburb on the outskirts of town, they'll have a great relationship with that builder, they'll move into a bigger house. So you buy a townhouse first, new developments later on go up 2, 3, 4 years later, you've built some equity in your house, you paid off the debt in the townhome a little bit, and great, you have enough equity to go and move into a detached house in the same neighborhood. And then you move up from a single car garage detached house into a 2-car garage detached house 4 years or 5 years after that. And they just use that as a way to roll into a larger property that's worth more money as they're building equity and paying down the debt. Makes sense, right? Another really good one for you younger investors out there, the people that don't need all the space. I like this one. I'll put a little side note here. House hack. If you don't know what house hack is, we have videos on this. Buy a house, you don't need all the space yet, rent out rooms or portions of the house to other people to use to generate some additional rental income, helps you pay off your mortgage quicker or helps reduce your expenses so you can save more money and then invest it. Makes sense, right? So next up, we're gonna do buy a rental property. Yep, rentals. We do a lot of that. Buy a property, rent it out. They carry your mortgage and your expenses. They pay off the debt for you. You refinance it in 5 years if you want, or you continue to pay off the debt so the cash flow goes up. Buy a rental. It can be a single family home, it could be a 400 unit building and everything else in between, okay? Next, this one is equity, debt pay down, a little bit of cash flow, right? Next, we can do flips. Now, what we used flips for was we would flip properties until we had enough cash to continue to do a flip, but also buy a hold at the same time. Flip, 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 buy a hold. Flip, 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 buy a hold, right? This one is great for building cash. There are tax implications. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. Flips are a good way to learn what you like and you don't like about real estate. It can be riskier because it's shorter term, depending on types of properties you flip. Pro tip, one thing that we really like to do was we would do kind of a combination between a BRRRR and a flip. We would buy a single family home and convert it into a 2, 3, or 4 unit property. Because if we converted it into 2, 3, 4 unit property, we knew we could rent it out and carry it or make a little bit of money every month. But when it was all finished, we try and sell it. If we can sell it for tomorrow's price today and make good money, great. We'll take that and we'll go roll it into more flips. If not, I know I got a great long-term hold. So it's kind of a way to combine these two strategies. Send me a message if you're more curious about that one. Next up, commercial. So this is residential stuff. People do flip commercial buildings. People flip apartments. People flip motels. Retail space. That is common. But for the purpose of this video, let's assume you're flipping smaller properties. Next, you can get into commercial. Commercial real estate. This could be commercial mixed use, industrial. That could be storefront on the main floor, apartments above. It can be warehouses. It can be storage space. It can be strip plazas. That is commercial real estate. Commercial real estate's bigger, slower, but typically a little bit more money. You need a little bit more cash down for those. In later videos, we are going to go through financing differences between residential and commercial style properties as well. Next up, let's do vacation rentals. Vacation, I'm going to do this and short-term, STRs. A lot of acronyms in real estate. I know, guys and girls. Vacation rentals and short-term rentals. You buy a property that is in a vacation destination, so you can rent it out for a premium. In Ontario here, cottage country is really common, right? Up in the Muskokas, up at the beach towns, on Huron and Erie. People buy cottages by the water. They want to rent a cottage for their family for a week or two in the summer. You're going to pay a big premium for it because that's high season. You could do, chalets. You could do hunting cabins. You could do campgrounds, whatever. There's a million different things you can do. Short-term rentals, typically you're looking for more rental income to offset for the cost of furnishing, cleaning, and maintaining the wear and tear on the property. We typically don't do short-term rentals. That's just personal preference, but can be huge cash cows in short-term rentals. Some government implications there as well. So let's check in with a few more right after this. We went through those pretty quick. A lot of different ways you can do those types of investment. And honestly, it really depends on your preference and the skill set that you can bring to it. Focus on the ones that are most interesting to you, that you think you could bring the most value at, and that will help you meet your goals, whether that's cash flow, whether that's building equity, whether that's being passive or active. And if you have questions on those, hit us up in the comments or send us a message. These next ones we're gonna go through pretty quick. I'll make some comments as we go. You can do REITs, REITs, real estate investment trusts. You can invest in one of those. We'll go, or funds. You can do real estate funds, both private, over the counter, and on market. But with REITs, with these, you're investing a chunk of your money into a real estate asset that's going to go buy, manage real estate properties for you, and you're going to get a piece of the return. Right? This is a little bit more passive. This is for people that don't have any interest in being active, finding deals, analyzing deals, coordinating contractors, property managers, and everything else in between. We could buy land. There's lots of people, all they do is buy land. Right? And with this, you could develop. We could flip. We could repurpose. There's lots of people that will buy land, get it ready for a builder, sell it to a builder. There's lots of people that will buy land, build on it. Lots of people that will buy it, rezone it, or get it prepped for a different type of build and then sell it to somebody. Or there's somebody that will buy land, do the whole thing, and then keep it forever. Lots of things you can do this. A little bit more experience, but very, very, very lucrative if you get it good at it. Next up, private lending. Private. I'm just going to put the money here. Private money. So you could register a first mortgage, a second mortgage on a property, collect a monthly payment for it. You could also lend money privately, whether it's secured or unsecured, for construction, for development, or to a real estate investor to do whatever the heck they want to it. Typically, this means that you're collecting either a monthly or a balloon payment at the end of the term, 6-month term, 12-month term, 2-year terms, completely up to you, and you get to negotiate your own rate and terms. Can be very lucrative. A lot of real estate investors are a lot more mature, a lot more experienced. They'll do a little bit of this on top of whatever their core competency is, whether it's buying rentals, flipping properties, so on and so forth. Great way for cash flow. Great way for cash flow. And then last but not least, partnerships. So we're going to go partner. So you don't have to go it alone. We have partners. We work with partners. Friends are great. I love working with people. That's part of the reason why we're in the business. You could partner on a deal with one other person. The old idea is a flipper, right? You're a flipper, you're not gonna be able to go in and do all the work, but you have the money to go find the deal and you got a really good deal here. You need a contractor to go and do it. So, we buddy up with a contractor. We got to find a great single family home. They go in and they do all the work and you split it up. Great. It could be a single family flip. It could be big multi-unit projects and everything else in between. And partnering with people can accelerate your growth. The old idea is you can go faster alone, but you can go further together. So for us, we partner with people all the time. It can be a great way for you to get somebody's experience in a specific type of deal that you want to do. You'll take, not all of it, but you'll get a cut of it. You'll get to learn, see how they do it, and then boom, that's something that you can go and do or take and teach, to your friends and family. That last piece that we covered in the 10 steps to wealth is teaching people what you've done and how to build wealth. It's kind of that last bit of how to really, truly generate wealth. So these are some of the other ideas and other ways that you can invest in real estate. Understanding the pros and the cons of them is really important. For the purpose of this video, we're not going to go through exactly how all of them work, but we do have experience and understand most, if not all of these strategies. So if you have questions about these, you can reach out, or a little bit of Googling on your own. You'll be able to get a better understanding of some of the risks, pros and cons for these to determine what's going to help you reach your goals the quickest. That is the name of the game.